Okay, yet another VOD review. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sean, also known as Secretly a Sliver. I've got a top 50 time in the No Major Glitches speedrun. That's basically contains all of the things that you will ever need for No Glitches Rando. Um, I'm gonna be too, not gonna be too preachy about like tiny little time saves. I guess I can't promise that, but we'll see what happens. All right, so normally I watch your stream at 2 times speed, and if I see something that I need to see again, I'll slow it back down. And just so you can see, I am playing on the Rando Prac Hack, and load. You see, I'm playing on the Rando Prac Hack, and that little jewel in the top left means I'm playing on Fast ROM. I just like to be upfront with stuff like that when it comes to timings and people asking, how did you get that time in that room? It's because I'm playing on Fast ROM. So let's try and find where we actually start this thing. Wonderful. Minish cap link. I mean, at least it's a link sprite, but all right. So this dash is not worth it. So dashing moves you at 4 pixels per frame. Going diagonal moves you at 2 pixels per frame, but as you probably remember from high school geometry class, diagonals are by and large shorter than doing multiple cardinals. So this dash is not a thing. You just need to take this clean diagonal to this chest and walk out. Yeah, so it's good to get a map check in before you enter your first dungeon. It can be done anytime between the beginning of the game and when you enter your first dungeon. You just have to do it at some point. And taking damage while going for hearts is classic. That's why you should be aware of how many hearts you actually need versus how many you're just going for no reason. All right. I wasn't gonna say anything, but so for that room, so in Rando or in Kaz Boots, you're gonna be dashing through this door. So what you want to do is tink your sword so that he aggros to you, get your item, and just grab the key. Everything that's happening here is fine. That escape time is not great. 546. So got some stuff to work on movement wise, but I don't think it's very productive to call everything out right now. You didn't need to kill that, and killing this pickle actually does nothing because right now you killed however many things that you just killed in Hyrule Castle. Uh, it's more than four. So basically, you need to go up and pull this tree because this tree pull doesn't change until you pull the tree. This will always be a tier two until you pull the tree. Killing this pickle while I normally endorse pickle murder all the pickles that you can. Uh, Doing this is just a waste of time. Now, if you want to pull the tree and then do this to set up a tier one in the forest, by all means go right ahead. But this, when you did it, does nothing. Okay, I see. So you don't have bombs here, but there's a pile of rocks to your left here that you need to know about. When do I go to CAC? I guess Thieves Town. So there's some rocks right here. These have bombs. You bonk that, you get a bomb. Go in and out of the hut here. You can farm it again. I would only get two here because by the time you get through Blind's Hut and Cackwell, you're guaranteed to have 50 rupees because there are 50 rupees under pots in those two. So you can go buy bombs at that point. But yeah, having to buy bombs here just makes things a bit awkward. But at least you recognize that you don't have bombs. To throw the chicken through the wall, you have to make the chicken hit the wall at this on the same frame, or there's a couple frames around it that will clip it partially into the wall. But optimally, you're trying to hit it the same frame that the bomb blows the wall open. So it's just after the bomb explodes that you want to hit the chicken with the wall to throw it through. All right. I'll choose not to show this to certain people who have feelings about shields. Probably not worth it to go that far out of your way for a mirror shield. The only thing you really use it for is blocking lasers in TR, and you're not even 100% sure that you're going into TR at this point. Right, you're isolating Agina here. I don't I don't think it's a good idea to isolate any check that could have Dark World access in there. So I would have gone from honestly, you already had 500 rupees, so what I would have done would be to go to Mini Moldarm Cave and Ice Rod Cave first, and do the flipper checks because we have the flippers. I wouldn't have even bothered with the dam because there's the only useful thing that can be in the dam that cannot wait until later is the Moon Pearl or the the hammer. Everything else can wait till later. Yeah, when you water rock and you take damage, you lose your water rock state. After you lost your water rock state, you maybe should have just abandoned Hobo here. You already have flippers, a mirror, and Dark World access, so you can. There's definitely a better chance to get this later on, and it's really slow to swim all the way up there. Just pick up the Zora item. How much time are you losing by just picking the damn thing up versus how much time you spent setting up not having to pick it up? What is this? So if you're gonna turn in the mushroom, you want to actually start at Link's house. Um, so if you want to turn in the mushroom, you actually want to start at Link's house, and you want to come down here. You want to go in this whirlpool right here. That'll take you up here. You're going the wrong way for the MITS access, but you're gonna find that out in a second. Oh, you wanted the... so you should have just gone through the portal and then gone up a little bit and then warped to bonk that off. But honestly, I would have just gone into Skull Woods here because there's a full magic in the back of Skull Woods that you can get. Yeah, which is what you're doing anyway. So that trip that you just took is just a straight up time loss. Oh, you have a green potion too. So right here through this wall, that's your full magic that you needed to get. The bonking it off the tree there wasted a lot of time. Okay. Um Yeah, good job on the map check, but you already. What am I trying to say? You already made a check, and it was not a key. Moth can also not have a key. So there are 7 chests in Skullwoods that can have a small key, but one of them has to have the big key. So there are 6 chests that can have a small key. There are 3 small keys in the dungeon. You've already checked one of them, so now it's a 3 out of 5 chance that one of these chests, each of these chests has a 3 out of 5 chance that they must have a small key, and you get 3 chances at that. Add it up, or multiply it up, or whatever. You have what, a 9 out of 125 chance of getting locked. All that to say, you didn't need to steal the key there. Just YOLO it. You have less than a 5% chance of getting locked out. Yeah, unfortunately, this is just something that you have to do. Because if you don't do this now, then you're pretty much waiting until a fire rod to come back to it. And if this is exactly the fire rod, then you may not get back here for an hour or more. So yeah, you just kind of have to do this right now. So one quick thing about King's Tomb. Uh, so you dashed into it like this, which is how you're intended to open it. But a faster way to open it is to just hold out your sword, hold against it, and then tap the boots. Uh, a slower but more hilarious way of doing that is to get hook speed and then just hold up. Or you just got the hook shot out of there, so it would be spin speed, not hook speed, but it's fine. Yeah, there's no reason not to do these first. Uh, so what I'm looking to do here is to just clear out Thieves Town, and then we're going up the mountain afterwards. So like, efficiency is not really on the menu here. We don't need to put these off for efficiency. We can do them now because there might be health in there that makes our lives easier. Okay, hold on. Bonk notwithstanding. Bear with me here for a second. Let me just show you the difference between these two routes. So obviously you're always doing this, and then you're coming up here. And then you're always coming over here. You're getting this chest. Okay. So from here, where do we go? Well, we have a few different options. Let's start with the one that you did. That took around 13 seconds. So let's explore another thing. 8 seconds. We'll round it up to 9. Let's explore another thing. Let's not die this time. 10 seconds. Each time you transition the screen in this game is about 2.5 seconds. And you can see that we'll just time it live right now. Or we'll just die. We'll time it live right now. That's where I hit the transition, and that's where it ends. So, maybe it's... We're gonna do that in a spot that's a little more obvious. That's when I hit the transition, and that's when it ends. So it's about 1.5 seconds. Yes, screen transitions are faster on. So each screen transition is about 1.5 seconds. You want to minimize the amount of times that you transition the screen. Because those screen transitions will add up. Okay? So by you going down and introducing these extra screen transitions, plus you're actually just straight up doing a longer route. This route is just shorter. You're bleeding a good bit of time. Like you lost 6 seconds in that one room alone. Now imagine if you could save 6 seconds in every single room in the game. Like, be flying. Yeah, this room is tricky. I would spend some time just kind of messing around in here. You don't necessarily need to try to hit the god pixel. Just try to walk through here and just notice the tendencies of the Gibos. And know when you're safe and when you need to kind of wait it out and such. And then you can try to hit the god pixel if you want. It does save a significant amount of time. It's going to let me through. Yeah, so 4:34 versus the 7, 8, or 9 seconds that I was getting before. So yeah, hitting the god pixel does save a good bit of time, but it's slightly difficult to do that, so don't and it's not really free to go for it, so Just do whatever you're comfortable with. But I would spend a lot more time in that room to see what the tendencies of the enemies are. Not sure why you killed that guy. He wasn't bothering you, but whatever. Yeah. When a boss is exploding, if it's not Trinex, you want to stand in the explosions because the prize will drop where the boss died. Except for again Trinex, who winds around the room, and if it didn't spawn in the middle, it might spawn somewhere where you can't pick it up. I would try to save this for later, specifically because we don't have a hammer, and it's better to do this with the hammer. Oh yeah. So getting powder there kind of makes it worth it, but you're not gonna do powder here, which sucks. But all right, so here, what you should have done because you just got the powder is go about here and mirror, and then jump down and powder the bat. You can't take the purple chest into any buildings, but if you jump into a hole, it will follow you. So you can jump down to the bat here, and then from the bat, honestly, I just save and quit to Link's house, and then turn in the purple chest that way. Um, I don't remember us doing dig game though. Did you? Did you do dig game before picking up the frog? Yes. Okay. Good. So we're not leaving anything behind. Like the trade off for going for the bat there means you leave K45 and Stumpy behind, but they're fairly easy to get back to. I mean, as far as getting back to checks goes. So you can actually drop the purple chest anywhere in the dark world, and then as long as you mirror kind of, you can probably just mirror where you did and be able to make it to him, but just mirror right beside where the guy is. I don't know where you're going here. Oh, swamp. Yeah, I mean your hammer can't be in here, but you can full clear it, so why not? I guess it could be in the first check. I definitely would have cleared the mountain before any of this. The mountain just has so many more checks. And it's way more likely that you're going to be able to get something from it. Plus, you don't have a decision on left side swamp or an equivalent decision on the mountain. You're just getting everything. You don't actually need that key, but it is faster to get that key versus the Phelps key later on. So as long as we use our keys effectively, then that ends up being fine. Yeah, it's always fun to see people get creative with hitting this switch when they only have fighter sword. Basically, you just have to do whatever you can do. Yeah, so big key ended up being on left side, which makes what you did faster. Oh, we're oh wow, okay. Cool. It's been a minute since I saw that diver down, but sure. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So big key ended up being on left side, which makes what you did faster. But on the whole, big key is much more likely to be in the back, which makes the left side delay kind of worth it. Um, Even though you have to come back in the dungeon afterwards, so it's I'm not gonna say what you did was wrong. It's just or suboptimal because it is optimal like over half the time, uh but when it doesn't work out, it loses more time to when it does work out. All right, what do now? Oh, we're getting something off Hylia. Oh, tempered sword, nice. Okay. I would not be going into pod hammerless. We haven't touched the mountain yet, and we can full clear it. But given that I've already seen your finish time, I bet you just spike a hammer here. Like, you should not be afraid of going into pod hammerless, but only if it's a good option. You have a better option right now. Because let's count this up. So you have the guaranteed tempered sword on Highley Island. Fine, whatever. Congrats. Um, but if you come to Pod, then you have Saha, which is 3 checks. You have Eastern Palace, which is 3 more checks, and you have Pod, which is 5 checks. That's 11 checks. if you go up the mountain right now, you have the Old Man, Spec Cave, Spec Rock, Tower of Hera. That's 5 right there. And you have Paradox Cave, which is 7 more. So that's 13. You have Spiral Cave, which is 14. You have Super Bunny Cave, which makes 16. You have Hookshot Cave, which makes 20. And you have Spike. You don't have Spike Cave because you don't have a hammer. So you have 20 checks on the mountain versus 11 checks down here. Now, these 11 checks do come with 2 crystals. So that makes them a little more enticing. But you also are not... You're also not guaranteed to get both crystals. Like, you need to spike a hammer here to make this worth it. So for this room, because you're going to be coming through here with the bow a lot, because you need to go through this room to get to the eastern boss, it's worth it to learn how to do this with the bow. And this also works with fire or ice rod. So you come, you get set up on the top half of this little diamond tile. You shoot left, down, right, and then you beeline toward the door. I guarantee you that's faster than anything that you were doing. Okay. So the recommended quick kill for Amos is the top right one. Easy to learn. I can go through the steps with you if you want. However, Amos also appears on ice in GT, and you have to fight it a completely different way. You have to do setup here on the bottom right. So if you don't want to learn 2 kills for Amros, if you want to just use the same kill for both, this kill works both on ice and not on ice. there. Alright, I'm not used to doing this because I do this a different way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and wait for them to start going. There we go. So if you don't want to learn 2 different Armo skills, this works on both of them. But there is a faster way to do it on land that you can't do on ice because it's ice. Yeah, so like I said before, hammerless pod may be required. Like, there could be something in there that leads to hammer, or it could just be the hammer itself. The thing is, though, you have a much better option. You have 20 checks on the mountain that could also be the hammer. So, I would not be in here right now. I think this is a bad play. When you enter pod without a hammer or without a bow, basically you're committing yourself to a double dip. If you don't have to double dip, if you find what you need in the dungeon, cool, fine. But you can't expect to find that thing in the dungeon unless it's, like, literally your last location. Oh, we didn't find... I am actually shocked that we didn't find a bow here, or a hammer here. You shouldn't commit yourself to dungeon double dips unless A, you really know what the logic is doing, or B, it's like it's a density play or it's an efficiency play. This is none of the above. It's a lot faster to lift the small rock that's right next to the big rock. Big rocks take a couple seconds to lift versus small rocks take a few frames. Finally going up the mountain. You can use your boots up to the point where you pick up the old man, and then you can't use them anymore. So it's slightly faster. Slightly faster if you hook speed off this ladder hook speed off this ladder. And then you end your dash, put your sword out, and then you climb this really fast, and then you get hook speed. It's slightly faster to do that way if you don't mess it up like I just did. I okay, here's a pendant, so delaying it like this is fine. I probably would have just gone in, honestly. Hera's such a quick dungeon that it doesn't matter to me whether it's a pendant or crystal. And you can't access Hera from this side right now. So you might just end up having to go back later. Okay, and then you end up finding a book here, which makes the delay worth it just in and of itself. You should quick swap more. You didn't like going from fire rod to hook shot, no matter how many things are in the way. This is not faster. Oh, okay. I see. You've already done paradox. You're doing okay. Never mind. You're not doing what I thought you were doing. Uh, quick point here. Why the hell do you care what the entry medallion for Turtle Rock is? You have all three. So this is just a waste of time. Alright, so there's our hammer. I definitely would have done Spike Cave here. Because we have all kinds of potions. But I mean, Spike Cave is admittedly slow, and we have a lot better options. Oh, going into deserts. Oh, yeah. So big miss here. Getting hammer here. Getting hammer here. Look at your tracker. Turtle Rock turned green. Definitely should have gone into Turtle Rock here. Actually, you're in go mode. So you definitely should have done Turtle Rock here. So yeah, you were hammer go mode. Because you don't need the flute. You have everything else. So yeah. You're in go mode. If you would have done Turtle Rock here, I guess that doesn't necessarily save you a mountain climb because you still have to climb back up for GT. Okay, maybe this doesn't matter. Maybe this doesn't matter, actually. This on the other hand does kind of matter. Like you're taking extra screen transitions when you shouldn't. Okay, so from Link's house is up here. Do this. Do this. Do this. And do this. Boom, you're in desert. So yeah, hammer go mode is one of the quicker go modes because hammer locks a lot of checks. I don't know exactly how many off the top of my head, but it's at least 50. Now, some of those are probably in GT, but yeah, hammer locks a lot of checks. So anytime you get a hammer go mode seed, you're gonna get a pretty low time on it. So here, what you would need to do. What you needed to do in this room is just go straight left, pick up this pot. While the key's falling, you make sure you're lined up with the bottom wall, and then you dash turn up, and then you'll get a key dash. Okay, it's a lot better than whatever you just did here. You didn't need to kill that Popo. You're going out of your way to kill enemies that you don't need to kill. Yeah, it doesn't particularly matter what order you do these in. I'm just looking to see room strats, and then we'll see what your preferred GT route is. But yeah, like routing, like I would have been on the mountain a lot earlier than you. Like I probably just sub hour this seed because it's such a jet. I definitely don't clear pod, and you did. I also don't clear Eastern, and you did. And maybe not sub hour. You get probably what a 130 ish. I probably get a 110 ish. You got to avoid every pen dungeon, which is great. It's faster to get the hearts first, but you had enough health that it's faster to just skip the hearts entirely. Because they won't put you to full, so they can't give you beams. So it's just faster to skip them entirely at that point. All right, that was a little rough, but nothing that can't be ironed out with practice. The good news is all of the stuff, all of the execution stuff that I've seen you do is fixable by just practicing for like half an hour. The routing stuff, well, that's up to you. I am also not the greatest router ever, so oh, please turn off flashing. We have the technology. Please use it. If you go to the right first, mirror out, and then go to the left, it saves about a second. You could also take the top route here. What I mean. This one. So here you went down, which means you have to go all the way down here, all the way over here, all the way up here, and then get into position. And then you do this, which 2558 versus just take the top route. And don't miss. $13.24. I just saved you 12 seconds. Congratulations. Now, if you don't have a hook shot, then the way you did it is the correct way to do it. But you do. So go ahead and save yourself those 12 seconds. Okay, so you at least have a plan for this room, which is more than I can say for most people. Your plan is to put a Samaria block here, explode it, and it hits both switches. That is not even remotely close to the fastest strat. What you need to do is you have a gaping hole right here. You need to put a Samaria block here, and then you need to put one, burst it, and put another one here. That'll hit this switch. Then you can push this block, and then you can burst your other Samaria block to get iframes here. So, what does that look like? Somewhat like that. Hopefully I'll do it better here. Same thing, but on the right side. So that's what I wanted. Instead of just default like that's like what you're doing is a backup. Like when you can't do what I just did, like when you're blocked on both sides, then that's fine for a backup, but what I just did is like 4 seconds faster than what you just did. So if you're stealing this key, which is what I think happened, oh, you took damage from the skull. Okay. Yeah, so you stole this key, which is fine. But if you steal that key, the goal is to go through this door and to get the rest of your keys on the way. The goal is to prevent yourself from having to do this room, the laser room, the outside room, big chest room, and then the roller room. So like you're skipping like 5-ish rooms. Now, there's a 3% chance that you can get locked out if the key placement is exactly small key in the big chest and small key on lava chest. Actually, let me check something. Yeah, okay, you stole the key. So yeah, there's a chance that you can get screwed if the placement is exactly small key on lava chest and small key on the big chest. But based on TR key logic, that only happens around 3% of the time. So people normally will go into Pokies 2 and go to the right in order to not have to go outside to skip these 5 screens. Now, the way that you did it, you can probably skip Laser Bridge this way, which will make your time back. You needed to hit that switch, by the way. Skipping Laser Bridge will make that time back. However, you actually want to go to Laser Bridge, and you actually want there to be a key on Laser Bridge, because you want to have an excuse to search Laser Bridge for silver arrows. Because silver arrows will significantly speed up Ganon, but you need to have an excuse to look for them. By skipping the big chest, you give yourself an excuse to search Laser Bridge for silver arrows because you're also searching for a small key. Where in this case, you have no excuse to go to Laser Bridge at all. You can hook speed off those stairs, by the way. The only thing that's wrong about Dark Magician Route is that it's named after a runner who only ran for 6 months. Yeah. No, definitely if you're already in the room, just open all the chests. All right. Well, that's a lot better mimic room than I see from most people. Okay. So you did that correctly. You didn't waste time in that room. You just kind of dashed whenever you needed to. Uh but then you didn't equip your fire rod at all. So let me get there. All right. So what you needed to do here was spin that guy and then fire rod down the rest of them. And then I have 2 fire rod shots left, which is enough for upstairs as long as you have lamp. You can be a little faster in that room. You shouldn't let those wizards shoot at all. I do appreciate not fluffing for silvers, but silvers do significantly speed up the Ganon fight. Uh, so it's like 115 versus like 14x. So it saves a good solid 30 seconds. So if, 30 seconds. So If you don't fluff any other chests, oh look at those line. Oh, those were beautiful. Those are beautiful lineups. Yeah, so you haven't fluffed any other chests for silvers. So fluffing the 4 on the climb is definitely worth it if you find them. And it's certainly worth it in the long run because you only spent like what would it be like 9 seconds in animations. Where did he say silvers were? Dark World. You don't have a map tracker up, so I don't remember necessarily which Dark World checks you haven't done, but did we do Mimic Cave? I think Mimic Cave is a Dark World check. I don't think we did Mimic Cave. So that's probably where I would guess they are. Alright, GG. The the movements are not optimal for that fight, but they're good enough. So yeah, basically, the takeaways from this is kind of know where your density is. Um, Going for Eastern and Pod hammerless was a big miss. Because if you would have gone to the mountain, then you could have skipped most of Pod. Um, and yeah, that's all I've got. So, GG. Hope to see more.